Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Maker's Mantle. Today, I'm going to be drawing some Twitch alerts for my own channel. I'm trying to stick with my own theme, which is kind of witchy, kind of tarot themed. And I'm going to be sticking with my color palette as well, which I have in the bottom right corner. A little bit of it's cut off, but if I just shift the canvas here, you'll be able to see. I think I'll be going for some 3-pixel line art for this size. Jot that down to remind myself. This lag right now is throwing me off, man. Oh my god, PK. You're here. Hi. I hope you're having a nice dinner. It's nice to see you, man. I'm new to all this, so I don't get a lot of people yet, but it's cool. I'm presently fighting the lag on the program I use. That lets me use my phone as my drawing tablet, which is awesome because I can't afford like a Cintiq or something, but it's a little bit laggy and that can lead to breaking up my line art, and that's kind of annoying. Also, if PQ is there, tell her I say hello. We have the same taste in television, apparently. Alright, that's not so bad. I got a couple spots I gotta clean up in right around there where the lines just don't intersect perfectly, but hey, no big. This one specifically is based off of the Ten of Cups, which is a celebratory card, and this is for when I get a new follower. This is going to be what I do. And I'm really looking forward to the raid one I came up with. I think it's going to be really funny. But I'm not going to be able to implement some of these until I reach affiliate. So I don't know if you can hear me, PK. It depends on if you have your sound on or not. It looks like you're muted. Yeah, watching without audio. But this is my sketch sheet of everything that I'm going to be doing, except one. One didn't fit on here. So I've got a bunch of tarot themed ones. Some of them are not tarot themed, but just kind of witchy in general. We have the Empress, we have the Fool, we have the Magician. This one and this one are both from Ten of Cups. This one's from Ten of Swords, and this is from Justice. And then these are like original ones. This is my ink pot, which is also on my overlay right next to my reference card. This is going to be like a reaction for when I make some kind of lewd jokes or something. I'm always on that. My rabbit familiar, I had rabbits for a long time. My cheers is going to be like a nice glass. I'm going to try to fit the text like huzzah in there. And then for like mod love, I did an anatomical heart. It's going to be really cool, I think. I think that looks pretty nice. Let me just do this gentleman's legs. Hope you guys don't mind me using 21 Pilots, because I listen to a lot of them. That looks pretty nice to me. My cat says hello. He's meowing in the background. Alright, I gotta zoom in closer to finish this last little bit. This is my favorite song off of 21 Pilots' new album, Clancy. I've been listening to this song so much lately. I think that looks pretty fab. Whoops, accidentally did that last part on my palette layer. Let me fix that. Alright, let's just touch up a couple of these funky spots. That looks better. And there's one by the hand. There we go. Cleaned up those little bits. That looks much better to me. Now, I should I'm debating if I want to do the wrinkles on their clothes as the black line art, or if I want to do it as like a darker color of whatever color I make them wear. Like if I gave him a green shirt, make it like a green black. I think for simplicity's sake, when this is on mobile and stuff, I think I should stick with black line art. Yeah, I think plain black is going to be best. I'm going to do it on a new layer, though, in case I have any overlap. It'll be real easy to clean up that way. Keeping it simple. I don't want these realistic. I want them to feel like they fit with the rest of my with my commissions card and everything, with the rest of the minimalist kind of aesthetic I'm going with for this. I think that looks nice. And I don't see anywhere where it really extends past the line art either, so I think I'm good to just combine these. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Now, here's the part where I really get picky. Color. Let's see. Oh, I gotta turn down the feather on that. Yeah, there we go. I don't think that contrasts as much as I want it to. I don't hate that. Yeah, I don't hate that. I think a little shading on that will really make it pop. Had to name my layer. I think I'm just gonna keep cranking these out and then shade them later. Maybe next stream. In which case, let me add a group layer, stick this in here real quick. All right, this is for when I get rated, and this one is based on the Five of Wands. But I replaced it with pitchforks and torches instead because, well, you know, I'm a mage and people don't always like that. This one is going to be hectic to color since they're so clustered. It's going to be interesting. All right, I'm on the correct layer. Let's do this. Hi, unicorns, how are you? You know, I keep getting notifications that you're streaming when I'm like in the middle of watching somebody else's stream. I'm gonna make it one of these days. I'm gonna make it, I swear. How have you been? Nice, I hope your dinner's good. Seems I'm a popular dinner spot since PK said the same thing. Glad you guys stopped in. Thank you so much for swinging by. Alright, I need to zoom in a little more for this guy. He's a little too detailed for me to do it from this far away. Trying to keep it from going pixely on you guys. Yo, unicorns, I feel that so hard. I can't cook. So, like, everything I eat that I make myself is pretty much just thrown in a bowl and heated up. Like, that's the life. It's either that or frozen. Be really nice if my drawing program wasn't being so laggy today. Yeah, that did not come out right. One moment here. I don't like to zoom in too much when I'm streaming, but need to get that face right. That looks better. Yeah, it's the thing is, since I'm doing alerts right now, they're not very high quality. Twitch can't handle like huge images, so it gets so pixelated so fast, and that's part of why I'm going for like a minimalist thing. I want it to match like my commission card on the side, which that one is based on 3 of cups. This one is 5 of wands. And then before I did 10 of cups. I have 2 that are 10 of cups based. And if you'd like to get a little sneak peek of what I'm going to be doing, like for the rest of this stream and next art stream probably on Friday, I sketched a whole sheet of things I'm going to be using for like alerts and like channel point pop-ups when I reach that point. So I did the Empress Tarot card for resubs, I did the Magician for subscribers, I did 10 of Cups for followers. For when I make mistakes, I want to have a command to pop up a silly little thing like, ooh, you messed up, and I'm going to do the Fool for that. I just thought that would be funny, wouldn't it? For error, I picked 10 of Swords. It seems appropriate, especially with how much computers hate me. Hype Train is also from 10 of Cups. And then the gift sub one comes from Justice, and I'm gonna put the text on the flag. And then the other ones are just like original things that are kind of just going with the vibe. I'm gonna have the Anatomical Heart for like supporting my mods, because my buddy Joey is gonna be modding for me a bit here and there as this channel kind of gets more popular and I need the help. I did like a little poison bottle for like when something's funny, people can be like, stop, I'm already dead. For cheers, I'm gonna have like a nice wine glass and I'm gonna write like huzzah along it. I owned rabbits for a long time, and so I'm doing my rabbit Frankie that I owned for like 11 years as like my familiar. So if my pets ever interrupt my stream, it's gonna be familiar time, and I'm gonna have a little art of Frankie that pops up. My ink pot, which you can see on like this corner of my overlay as well, my ink pot. And then, like, I make a lot of really dirty jokes and stuff, so I did this lewd eyeball for when I do dirty jokes. People can, like, call me out and be like, hey, we're watching, remember? So I was working on those like late last night into this morning. And then I wanted to go digital with them to make sure they're nice and vibrant and they match my brand and they match my palette and all that good stuff. My branding color palette's right here. I'll probably use some of these to like decorate my website too. I like doing this kind of graphic art, but I definitely need to get more character art done for my portfolio. I'm a little bit rusty on it, if I'm being completely honest, and I'm trying to get past that and get past the nerves of being like, oh, it's not done yet, I don't want to stream this. Like, that's the point. I'm glad you like it, unicorns. Yeah, I still need to install bots on mine. I only started this like a month ago and I have no idea what I'm doing, honestly, but I've met some really great people already and I'm really excited to be here. There we go. I don't know why I couldn't pick up that line properly for a second there. But I thought it would be really funny to have a bunch of guys with pitchforks and torches pop up when I get raided, since I'm going for the whole witchy theme. These guys have the weirdest feet. Tarot cards are styled so weird. I gotta zoom in on this guy's foot. Free feet, guys. You heard it here. Get them all the hot. There, that's a little better. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. Given the art style, it's weird. But I really love the Rider-Waite deck. Thank you. Yeah, I animated the candles myself, and I'm not an animator. I'm not an animator, but I tried it anyway. I've done some basic GIFs in the past, and they're only 12 frames, believe it or not. I thought the way they flicker kind of looks natural, though. Like, fire's kind of weird like that, you know? I was worried it would be a little too much, so I'm glad you like it. One of my friends said he found it distracting. Dude, animating a rolling D20? That sucks. I mean, that must have come out so cool, but oh, that would be grueling. Yeah, maybe down the line I'll experiment more with animation. I love it as an art style. It's so cool, but it takes a lot of patience. And I don't know if I'm that patient. I don't know if that's my brand of patience. That looks nice. I feel like you can tell that I'm right-handed by the fact that I started with the guy on the left, on like the leftmost line art. That's a force of habit from doing traditional art primarily, when I'm inking, trying not to smudge. Yeah, I've actually used Canva a couple times. They're really good. Good to know that you were able to like do a full animation in there. The candles I did right in this program that I'm using right now, I'm using Krita. I've been trying to get off of Adobe programs. I used to use Adobe, and that's like how I was taught to do graphic art, and I'm pretty new to Krita, so I'm honestly rusty with the tools, which was part of why, like, at first I was like, maybe I should get better with this before I stream, and I did my overlay before I did anything else, because I wanted to have it from the get-go, and I wanted to show off what I can do and learn the tools a little bit, and I think that helped a lot. Yeah, I used Canva to make the worst hysteria meme once. I think it was funny. Ugh, this lag keeps breaking up my lines. Yeah, Canva definitely seems really handy. I was messing on it with my phone a bit. I need to see if they have like a computer program or something too, because I can definitely do higher quality stuff that way. For a while there, I didn't have like a computer good enough to run. Oh, they do have a computer version. Sweet. Yeah, I've used their mobile platform before. Um, yeah, I didn't have a computer good enough for digital art for a while, which is part of why I'm rusty at it. I was drawing things on my phone primarily in a free program called Ibis Paint, just dealing with the ads and stuff. And that's where like I know you were here last time when I was working on some character art. That's where the reference came from. I drew that on my freaking phone. And even this I'm actually drawing on my phone. I have a program that connects my phone to my computer so I can use it as my tablet. Because I can't afford a tablet with a screen on it, and I'm not one of those people who can adapt to one of those screenless tablets where you look at your screen and you draw on the tablet. That really throws me off. I just need to figure out why this program doesn't want to let me plug in my phone to connect it that way. Because for some reason it has a habit where that doesn't work, even though that's an option, and I have to connect it through Wi-Fi, which is why I get lag that causes my lines to break up every now and then, and why I keep, like, drawing a line off to the side when I'm done with the line I'm on, so it doesn't get, like, stuck. It has a way of getting stuck when it lags. Oh, unicorns, drawing with your mouse, I don't envy that. My graphic design teacher in high school did that, and he thought I was crazy for preferring a tablet, and I have no idea how he did that. Then again, he used a lot of, like, the pen tool kind of stuff, and that's not my preference. Very different art styles, me and him. Yeah, I mean, when you're drawing with a mouse, yeah, I can imagine your sanity's hanging by a thread. When I found the program that lets me use my phone as a tablet, I was stoked. I was like, where has this been all my life? I've been struggling to try and adapt to one of those cheap bamboo combs that doesn't have a screen on it. And I can't draw in one place while I'm looking at another. It throws me off. I'm a traditional artist through and through before I ever touched digital, which is why, like, I still do my sketches in pencil and then just take a picture or a scan. If I was trying to do this just straight up in digital without, I would have to trace it. I can't really draw well in just digital. I need to get the proportions right on paper first. From what I've found, it just helps me. God, okay, so if you're not familiar, I'm glad you like my music. I was just gonna say, this song is by a band called the Arctic Monkeys, and I'm not gonna lie to you, unicorns, I got into them for all the wrong reasons. Um, I was in high school when I first found these guys, and I had a crush on a girl who was straight and had no interest in me, and I was like, well, she's way too cute and I can't look her in the eye anyway, but maybe if I listen to some of the music she likes, that'll at least give us something to talk about, and maybe eventually she'll realize she's not straight. Never happened. Yeah, I've mostly been listening to Muse and 21 Pilots this whole time, but this one is an Arctic Monkeys song. I have a really weird taste in music, so I try to pick stuff that's agreeable for streaming, that, like, I think most people would be cool with. Because I definitely have a weird music taste, and some of my stuff gets grating to people who aren't into that kind of thing. But yeah, this was like the favorite band of this straight girl I went to high school with, who was just way too cute. Okay, so out of my weird stuff, okay, I have a tattoo for a band called La Dispute, and they are so emo that emo friends of mine have heard me listen to them and asked me if I'm okay. So that's one example. My music taste is really diverse. I love everything Dallin Weeks does. He's in the band, I don't know how, but before that he had a band called the Brobecks, and they're really weird and theatrical, and I was obsessed with them. I've been obsessed with that album Violent Things since middle school. And that's indie for sure. I listen to a lot of indie. I also love musicals, so there's a decent amount of show tunes in my mix. I'll pretty much listen to anything with good bass, really. Another one of my favorite bands that some people consider weird, although I hear they're more popular in Europe than they are around here. They're a British band, so I guess that makes sense. Is a band called Placebo. And they're not one I would suggest listening to at work because they're very lewd. And the singer has a like nasal kind of tone that some people find really grating, but I love him. I love everything about him. He's also like absolute fashion goals. I love his aesthetic so much. I mean, I can do that. I just use YouTube Music so I can pull up basically anything. Let me see. Right now I'm in my replay mix. This is stuff I listen to frequently, so this isn't like out there for me or anything. Um, but Unicorns, would you rather have an example of the band that's so emo that it makes my emo friends concerned, or would you rather have an example of the band with the nasal voice that people aren't into? Watching my VOD is going to be funny since none of it's going to come through. Do emo music first. Okay. Yeah, sure. Make some bots and accounts to flood this chat. I just started streaming last month. Fast track me to affiliate, my friend. Oh gosh, one second. I gotta. Okay, so I could pull up the song that my tattoo is from. Because I have a quote from one of their songs in my tattoo. It's not my favorite song by them, but it was one of my favorite quotes, and it was short enough to fit in a tattoo. That's really why I end up picking the one that I picked. And well, if you ever want to chat music, I'm definitely a good person for that because I listen to a lot of indie stuff. I've heard of La Dispute by just like someone I met once, and I've only met two people since who have even heard of them. They've also done a lot of EPs with other small bands that I've gotten really into through them, including an acoustic musician from Pennsylvania called Koji, who is just fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna set the one my tattoo is from to play after this song's over. Um, and don't judge me because it's really emo. And like I said, it's not even my favorite by them. It's a good one. I don't dislike it, but it's not my favorite by them. I usually try to introduce people to them with a couple of their softer songs first, but if you want to go in, we're going in, my friend. In the meantime, though, I really like this Smashing Pumpkin song, so I don't want to skip. That's two dudes down. I gotta get his other leg still. They're all tangled up with each other. I keep missing stuff like that. Like, when I was done drawing this at, like, 2 in the morning. Unicorns, that sounds just like me, though. I'm a little bit younger than you. I'm 27. And I would consider myself more punk than goth, personally, but I do appreciate goth. This is the song. I hope it's loud enough. Let me know if I should turn it up. I'll let you listen to this real quick, and then I'll touch back on you being an elder goth. Whoop. Sorry, that was my phone program crashing. There we go, got it back in action. Hey, welcome back, PK. Yeah, so that was The Surgeon and the Scientist by Law Dispute. I haven't set up a throne yet. I've heard of that. I do have I do have a weird taste in music, but I'm glad you liked it. Most of my friends hear that and they're like, how do you listen to this? This is egregious. But I love them. The poetry, I've seen them live too. I saw them live, oh shit, that was like 7 years ago now. Jesus Christ. And they go hard. I've seen some legendary metal bands, and they went harder than any of them. Like, I saw Korn live. I even met 2 of Korn's members. I met Monkey and Head. And Law Dispute, this emo poetry band, went 10 times as hard. I love them so much. And the singer saw my tattoo, and he was stoked, and he kept giving me the microphone. I had such a blast. Since they're as emo as they are, they don't have a huge following. So he saw that I knew all the words. And since they're spoken word, especially, most people don't bother remembering all the words. But he saw that I knew all the words, and he just kept giving me the microphone because I was right in the front row, and I lost it. PK, did you have a nice dinner? It absolutely is a core memory. I still look up the clips from that show sometimes and like see myself there, and I'm a very loud person. I can scream like you wouldn't believe, and I can still hear myself in some of the videos, even over all the amps and everything. It updated your badge for me. I'm really stoked you stopped by today, man. Yeah, I've only started streaming like a little less than a month ago now, not long after I popped into your channel for the first time. I don't really have a big following or anything yet, but it's totally cool. I get friends coming in every now and then. And honestly, I've been having more fun than I thought I would. I'm like not the most social person, and I'm not a big fan of the sound of my own voice, but I'm definitely getting used to it. I just need to figure out how to wire my phone in for this program instead of doing it over Wi-Fi because it causes my line art to lag. Okay, so PK, I'm not affiliate yet, but I decided to start working on some alerts and some channel point pop-ups anyway, because I want to have those ready for when I do hit affiliate. So this one is going to be for when I get rated. Since I have like a witchy mage theme going on, I thought it would be really funny. This is based on the tarot card, the Five of Wands. And I thought if I just replaced their staves with pitchforks and torches, that it would be perfect. So that's what I'm doing today. Prior to this, I drew this one real quick, which I still need to shade. This one's from Ten of Cups. I'm doing a bunch of these. I have a full sketch sheet. Let me grab it for you. Here we are. Yeah, so this, I've been working on this sheet for like 2 days. And I just drew a bunch of tarot card inspired things that I thought would work well for different alerts. So for a follower, I have this celebratory Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups also for Hype Train. I decided that for subscribers, I would use the Magician because I want to play off the idea that like they're like my apprentices. Silly as that is. For a gift sub, it would be this Justice piece. And then for a resub, it would be the Empress, because I kind of want to have it like progress, like the person's like growing in their magic capability or something. And then I was trying to make some reacts for other things too, and I was thinking for cheers, I would do like a nice wine glass, like huzzah. And I make a lot of lewd jokes. I'm a very uncensored person, and so I wanted to have like a lewd thing where people can spend channel points and be like, that was dirty, or like, watch your phrasing. And it has a little eyeball like, I'm watching you. For when I get disrupted by my pets, I'm gonna have like a little familiar time pop up and be like, oh, sorry, the mage's familiar is demanding their attention. And I had rabbits for a long time. I had one rabbit in particular for 11 years, and I'm basing this one off of him. And then I have an anatomical heart for like when mod appreciation is a thing, because my buddy Joey is going to be helping me with modding when I'm not, once my channel gets more traction. And then I was trying to add a couple other things in that kind of vein, some potion bottles. I've got like some fingers and some teeth and things, and I was debating between like a cool sparkly gem when people do bits, or like maybe like a little tip coin. I don't know. I might have it rotate between some. But I'm really glad you like it. Yeah, I wanted to do something that like I wouldn't get bored of, And I love tarot art. I collect tarot cards and cartomancy cards, and I've just always thought it's really cool. And not only that, but the Rider-Waite deck is so old that there's no worry about like copyright infringement, especially considering I'm doing my own twist on it. So that's what I've been working on today. I think I'm just gonna outline and color a bunch of these, and then I'll probably be on next Friday shading them. And I figured it would be good to have some of the stuff ready, because hitting affiliate is a goal of mine. But again, I only started this like a month ago. I'm really glad you like it, man. That means a lot. Your art is so freaking phenomenal, dude. I just really want to improve it digital more, because I feel like it sells easier. It also doesn't help that I only recently started, yeah, I have my schedule at the top of my overlay. You can see I do Tuesdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern. I've been sticking with it pretty well. Yeah, traditional originals do sell well, but only if you're like really good. And I don't mean to undersell myself, but I've worked with people who sell in studios, and they are well beyond me. PK, I sent you a link on Discord once. I don't know if you ever saw it, but I sent you a link to one of my old coworkers who is a painter who sells through exhibits, and my god, he is phenomenal. And he's only recently hit the point where he's like making real money off of it, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I've like, being completely honest, not had the most like artistic energy over the recent past, because like I was training to be a tattoo artist, and then COVID happened and completely derailed my career, and it had me like really down on myself for a while, even though it wasn't like my fault or anything. And I'm like finally starting to pick it up again, even though it's been a while. No worries, PK. Honestly, I was surprised I messaged you at all, because I have terrible social anxiety. Um, and I almost talked myself out of it like 8 times. I still need to hit up PQ to talk about TV, apparently, since apparently we have the same taste in television. I can't believe you've heard of Pushing Daisies. Everyone I tell about it is like, they've either never heard of it or they only heard about it being canceled. But yeah, I agree. Art's good for me. And it's kind of weird, because like for a long time my inspiration was like a lot of escapist things. Like I was bullied a lot, and I liked drawing fantasy characters to like have these like made up maladaptive daydream friends, when I was growing up. And that's not a thing anymore, and I don't know, I'm trying to like I feel like Zuko when he figures out that firebending doesn't have to be about anger, I know that's like a silly metaphor, but it really feels like that sometimes. But I'm finally getting away from Adobe programs, and I'm still getting used to this program. I'm using Krita these days, since it's by artists for artists, and it's completely free. You only have to tip for it. Well, you don't even have to tip. You have the option to tip for it. Dude, that's awesome. I love that show so much. I actually even named one of my D&D PCs. I took Olive Snook's last name and I slapped it on one of my characters because I really liked it. I get a lot of my last names like that. So my favorite wizard character is named Amora Snook, and is also a very tiny blonde. I just adore Kristen Chenoweth. Yeah, I wish I switched off of Adobe stuff sooner, because now I'm having the learning curve while I'm on stream, and my art just isn't coming out quite as well as I wanted it to. But for that reason, I did my overlay first, so that I could get the hang of it, and I did like my logo and everything first. And I really need to get onto more character art so I can start filling my portfolio gallery again, because I'm just not happy with my old stuff and I don't feel like it represents me well. Hasn't been easy switching off of Adobe stuff, I'm not gonna lie, especially because every graphic design class I've ever taken was based on Adobe products. PK, I just need to emphasize again how gorgeous your work is. You claim you don't know what you're doing because you don't draw often, but Jesus Christ, dude, your work is stunning. Gather dot. I did not put a dot there. Excuse you, sir. Yeah, you can totally tell I'm a traditional artist. I'm right-handed, purely based on the fact that I'm lining this like this. PK, I will shower you with praise. I don't even care. But like the fact that I like jumped on Twitch for like the first time and was like, yeah, I think I want to try this for my art next, because I'm sick of the algorithms on Instagram and everybody just keeps telling me to try Instagram, but I can't keep doing Instagram. And then I found like your account, and we have all this stuff in common, and you're this awesome D&D artist, and I'm like, holy crap, this is like a sign. I think I'm meant to be here. Thanks, PK. I'm glad, because sometimes I feel like I talk too much. And do not worry, my friends, I am medicated for the anxiety I blatantly have. Yeah, it really, it helps to have chatters going off all the time. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, is this on subject enough, though? Sometimes I'm like, is this on subject, or am I making this about me? you know? Like, I can do that on my streams, but I'm not trying to do that on somebody else's. Thanks, PK. I did not make you come here for my validation, mind. I actually was like, you really, thank you. I really went balls deep on the theme before I considered anything else. Anything else. I was like, I need a theme. And I actually came up with the Maker's Mantle, like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago. And I made an email for it and never did anything else. I was going under different usernames previously, and I was like, no, I like this. It's wordplay, it's a little witchy, it kind of suits me. And I finally was like, I think I need to just do it already, because a bunch of my friends were telling me, like, what's your pricing? What's your website? I want to buy commissions from you. I want you to draw my D&D character. And I was just like, why do you want my art, you know? But sometimes you need to just accept that, like, when other people are telling you to put yourself out there, it's because people like your stuff, you know? And I've been told I should podcast, but I don't know how to do video editing, so this seemed easier. And yeah, indeed, indeed. Yeah, I need to add. That was part of my goal for like this next week, before Tuesday particularly, because on Tuesdays I'm streaming Baldur's Gate 3 with my buddy Joey, who's volunteered to help mod for me, and I'm going to be helping with his content creation as well. He is a dungeon master, and he actually does it professionally, if you can believe that. He gets paid to run D&D, which is just so cool. And so we agreed that, like, we should, you know, work hand in hand, because both of our jobs are very creative. And my damn program. Both of our jobs are really creative, and why not promote each other as friends, you know? So I'm probably going to be doing some, oh yeah, this song used to come on like every day when I was arriving at high school, and I would just be bopping to this on my way in. Yeah, so my buddy Joey and I decided to do some work together where I'm going to be doing some art of his characters, and then he's going to be like taking that character art and bringing it to some of his professional settings as visual references, but also to be like, hey, if you guys want to get your characters drawn, then you can hit up my friend, you know, and we're going to do a little hand in hand like that. Yeah, I figured I can start building a community by getting to know other streamers, which I'm doing, you know, not only because of, you know, building my own community, but because, like, a lot of you guys are cool, too, and I like hanging out on here, and I've got too much spare time lately. I'm still looking for, like, a day job, and I live in New Jersey, and with how dense the population here is, oh, that's going to take a while. But I wanted to go into this whole thing with a theme. I wanted to watch some other Twitch people first to, like, get an idea of the culture here, because, like, previously I'm, like, mostly on Reddit, and I have history on Tumblr also. I never really used Twitch before. But I was like, if I can just stream the things I'm doing anyway, and make some friends while I'm at it, that would be cool. And if it reaches the point where I can get a little supplementary income, you know, off of, like, my commissions, people doing, like, tips or cheers in the meantime, that would be awesome. Yeah, that's part of why I was like, I started by watching a few of Neil Newbon's things, and because I love Baldur's Gate, we all know this. So I started by watching some of Neil Newbon's content, and then I was there for a raid, and I was like, wait, that's how Twitch works? and I thought to myself, like, I genuinely think that a raid, which feels like a lottery in terms of getting viewers from some big, big streamer, honestly seems statistically more likely than to get attention through, like, the algorithms that only promote people who are already popular. And so I asked my buddy Joey, I was like, listen, this guy, Neil Newbon, who you've never heard of, because he's never even played Baldur's Gate. I'm like, this guy you've never heard of goes on Twitch and he streams and then he raids people and he drops like 2,000 people in there at a time, and it's crazy. And if I can get that just once, that's what I told him. I was like, if we can get that just once, we can make some commissions, and maybe you can get hired to DM for somebody, and maybe we could start a community that way. And so based purely on watching a Neil Newbon raid, I was like, I think I like this lottery idea. So shout out to Neil Newbon for getting me drawing more. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Not even my favorite character. Halsin's my bae on that game. I'm not gonna lie. Halsin's my baby boy, but I do love Asterion. Yeah, this is Placebo as well. This is that British band I was talking about, where some people don't like them because they think his tone is too nasal, but I love it. Oh yeah, PK, you've never gotten a raid bigger than that? I mean, 1,000 is still pretty damn big. Yeah, highest you've had is 120-ish. That's not bad though. That's really not bad. What do you think? Or do you think something in particular is preventing you from getting more raids? Because, like, I'll tell you this, PK, between me and you as friends, I was planning on raiding you tonight if I have enough viewers to do it, because I know you're going on soon. So when I was done here, I was gonna raid you if I have enough viewers for it, but as a brand new channel, not sure that's gonna happen, so no promises. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you had everyone in a room together, it would be a bit much, yeah. I mean, I'm not, like, afraid of doing creative things in front of people. I did work at multiple art studios. I worked at the tattoo studio. I worked at a paint and sip, one of the chain ones, and I also worked at a family business that was basically a color me mine, where we worked with both ceramics, glass, and canvas and acrylic paint as well. And those were all really cool jobs, and they involved, explaining art techniques to people and demonstrating them. And one the paint and sip place even had a freaking stage with a microphone that we would stand on, and I did those classes for up to I think the biggest one we ever had with paint and sip was like 60 people, and then the biggest event we ever had at the small business Color Me Mine that I'm not going to name because it would out my hometown. But the biggest one I did with them was like 120 people. Hey, Demonic Poultry, how's it going? Yeah, so I've done art instruction. It's not something that scares me, but for the most part, it was all with like very beginner people who like didn't really need advanced techniques, So that makes it a lot easier to explain that kind of stuff. I do miss working with glass as well. Glass is such a wonderful medium if you've never had the opportunity. Unfortunately, it's quite expensive, so I haven't worked with it in at least 10 years. Gotta zoom in for this guy's jawline. Not getting it right otherwise. Unfortunately, at the paint and sip I worked at, the manager there was not an artist, had no idea how art worked, and tried to insist on telling me what to do anyway. It was absolutely bonkers. Yeah, like just the manager I had at the paint and sip place, she I did inventory there and I told her once that we needed more yellow paint, and she asked me why I can't just mix it. Like that's what I've worked with. Having to explain to your studio boss what a primary color is a lot of fun. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm trying to look at it too, PK. And that's part of why I asked my buddy Joey to stream with me on Tuesdays, because I figured those Baldur's Gate streams would give me something to talk about if I feel like I'm like running out of stuff to talk about, or if I don't really have a chat and I just want to, you know, keep talking for my lurkers or whatever. Because that's still a real problem right now with how small my channel is. Chat can be very inconsistent. But we shall have patience, my friends. So I've got this going. I'll give you a little peek. Let me open another file real quick. This is the away screen I'm working on. It's obviously not done yet, and I want to animate a couple things on it too. But this is going to be my away screen. It's going to be drawings of my cats, my childhood cat, the rabbit I used to have, and he's going to be over here as well. And I'm gonna like animate a couple things. I want a green flame flickering in the fireplace. I want to have like the plant that's hanging here, the drying, kind of sway a little bit. I'm considering having a little spider run around in the spider web. And I want like smoke rising from the incense burning over here. And I haven't finished this yet, but I figure my channel is small enough that I don't really need to rush on an away screen anyway. But I'm pretty excited for how it's coming along. I think I'm gonna have the cauldron bubble over too. Let me turn off the sketch layer so you can see better. Yeah, so that's the, Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. Yeah, I wanted it to be a very busy, like, maid shop. I wanted it to feel like you walked into my workshop, and that's gonna be my away screen. And I thought like a green flame in there, just kind of flickering light around the whole thing would be a really cool animation for it, and then have a couple other subtle things going too. Because I did, the candles on my overlay, I animated those. They're not perfect, but my boyfriend said they gave him Don Bluth vibes, and I like almost cried. I was like, sad Disney artist? Yes. I find that the PNGs kind of fight with OBS sometimes. I'm probably gonna do it just like as a movie if I can, and maybe I haven't really looked into it yet. Can you have noise on an away screen? Because if I could have like a crackling fire sound on my away screen, that would be pretty cool. But I wanted it to feel like you walked into the workshop of somebody who's like both a mage and an artist. And that's the kind of vibe I was going for. And before I do the animations, I need to figure out for sure what kind of file this is gonna be. Oh, sweet, I can include sound. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do like a crackling fireplace then, and maybe like a little bubbling sound for the cauldron, because I want to add some bubbles to that too. But I've been working on this a lot lately. I started this around the time that I was wrapping up my overlay. And I was primarily working on this while watching Twitch streamers, mostly Painted King, Yumpalina, and John McLaren IRL. I watch them a lot. Those are like definitely my go-to streamers that I've found so far. I know Yump was lurking a few days ago, so Yump, if you're here, if you're seeing this, hi! Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting this shaded, but at the time I stopped, I was kind of starting to get overwhelmed by all the details. And there's some things that have like weird transparency, like you can see his ear here has kind of a weird overlap, and that's because I want to have the ear twitch. That's going to be one of the animations. Yeah, John McLaren is a really cool guy. I like his energy a lot. That guy's so vibin'. He gives me like golden retriever vibes. Listen, I don't know if you guys watch BoJack Horseman, but I'm obsessed with the show BoJack Horseman. And I was telling my boyfriend that I think John McLaren would be an excellent live-action Mr. Peanut Butter. There we go, that looks nice. I expected to have to try that more times with how it lines up with a few other lines, but nope, nailed that one, sweet. Yeah, I love BoJack Horseman, but it is a very dark show, so if that's not what you're into, don't make yourself. Please don't make yourself. It's got some very... It comes with a lot of content warnings for good reason. Me, I eat that shit up. I love dark, screwed up things. So I have watched that show dozens of times. It's like to the point where my sister has been like, "Are you okay? You're watching that sad horse show a lot." And I'm like, I love it. It makes me happy. Don't question it. But I'm absolutely obsessed with that show. And I'll be honest, I find Mr. Peanut Butter a little too much. And I don't think John is like that, but... Oh, unicorns, you gotta go. Thank you very much for joining, and I hope you have a great night. I'll see you around. Yeah, I don't think John is over the top. I think John captures like the sweet side of Mr. Peanut Butter really well, but as an actor, he definitely has the range to capture Mr. Peanut Butter being the worst sometimes, too, I think. Yeah, PK, I know you got your own stream that you gotta be getting to. Thank you so much for joining me, man. I really appreciate it. It's made me very happy to see you both here. Thank you, guys. Alright, I gotta finish this guy's hand and his head and this guy's skirt and leg situation. And then I can get started on the things they're wielding instead. There you are, sir. You have a head now. Alright, we just need to give him a hand. And then I want to start the pitchforks and torches on a separate layer, just because all those straight lines can get a bit messy. There we are. That's looking fab. Let's throw another layer in the mix before we do all these straight lines that are potentially going to be intersecting with some other things. You know, I saw somebody write a D&D character based on this song once. For those of you watching the VOD, the song playing right now is Short Skirt, Long Jacket. And it's a really good song by Cake. And I saw somebody took the description of the woman he's talking about in this song and wrote like a dragonborn based on her, and it was awesome. It was really cool. I kind of wanted to reinterpret it myself for D&D purposes, see where it takes me. I love this song. Muse does such a good cover of it. Muse is everything they touch, dude. Oh, we have 2 more Muse songs in a row after this one. It's on a little streak right now. I had to mix it up earlier because it was like half 21 Pilots, and I was like, no, I can't have every other song be 21 Pilots. For my friends who may or may not be watching the VOD, this is Muse's cover of Feeling Good. VOD audio does not include the music. Oh, no. They did, that was the last song that played, was Short Skirt Long Jacket. This is a cover of Feeling Good. Yeah, how's the music versus my voice? I checked it on my phone earlier, but I'm using my phone for a tablet now, so I can't check it regularly. That looks like a pitchfork. I think I have to pull the lines up slightly further. Yeah. Yeah, that looks better. Perfect. Yeah, I'm glad. I did have it set to have an effect where it's supposed to quiet a little bit when I'm speaking. And I didn't really get to test that out very extensively since it's hard to run this stuff and listen to it at the same time. Perfect. I'm glad I'm at a good music balance level then. Because I've seen a lot of streamers that keep it like really quiet, and it's like just loud enough that there's music present, but you can't really tell what's playing, and I'm like, that feels a little pointless. That looks good to me. And I fixed it where his hand doesn't quite connect. Yeah, and I've been trying to stick with like some of my more agreeable music tastes. You guys know how I am. So I don't know, I'm trying to go for things that are bassy and vibin' and maybe like a little bit witchy just to fit the vibe, you know? And I'm gonna work on an official playlist eventually. But in the meantime, this is just straight off of my replay mix. I just like took a couple out where I was like, I'm not sure if those are necessarily appropriate for Twitch. Some of my looter ones, you know. It did give me the option to flag this one for excessive cursing. I was like, I might want to make that a default on my channel and just leave that checked all the time. Start a trend of what having people leave their Twitch on the I curse too much mode. Because it was like, hey, if you're gonna excessively curse, please check this box. And I was like, you know, I don't know how many chatters I'm gonna have today, so maybe. Because if I don't have many chatters, I do get quiet. I'm trying to learn how to, you know, just talk to myself more. But when I have chatters, I'm definitely talking more, and I'm like, I feel like the amount I cursed is going to depend entirely on my chatters today. It's funny because around kids is like the one time and place in which I'm actually good at censoring myself. But when it comes to adults, I'm like, they can handle it. It's funny. People always end up being surprised I like kids, and I'm like, I think kids are great. I worked with kids. In a perfect world, I would want to have kids, but I don't know why everybody assumes I'm one of those people that would hate kids. I think people just think that when you're like female but mask. I think that's something a lot of people just like, they're like, oh, you're probably like those dads who call it babysitting, and I'm like, how dare. Fam, do we think the 3 pitchforks, 2 torches is cool? I was trying to like rules of odds it, but considering there's 5 overall, they can't both be odds. I have to remind myself sometimes that some of the other streamers I watch do stream for like family-friendly audiences, and I'm like, oh, gotta watch my mouth in that chat. Where did this dot come from? Get out here, sir. Yeah, I thought more pitchforks than torches would be good as well. I'm glad we're on the same page. I also thought if there was like, this is already kind of a busy thing for like how small it is. So I didn't want to add more fire. You ain't wrong, Baldy, you ain't wrong. Gotta zoom in a little bit more here. I thought also with the two guys that I chose to hold torches that they're like the inciting ones. Based on like the posing and the way they're looking at the other men and like shouting at them, it seems like they're the inciting ones and the other men are like, oh, let's get on that, let's go hunt that witch. You know? Like this guy looks like he just picked up his pitchfork and he's like, yes, a weapon, an excuse to fight. Can confirm that Baldy locks a cishet. You're not cishet, you're cis hey. According to that typo. You know what's stupidly frustrating to me? The J and the H keys are right next to each other, and for anyone lurking who doesn't know me already, my name is Jet. And so sometimes I accidentally type het, and I'm like, no, I am not het, thank you. Listen, it's not my fault the cishets were uncreative when they made their flag. You can't blame me for that one. I've already rambled at you about the history of the original pride flag. For those of you who might not know, the modern pride flag is 2 colors short of what it used to be. And then they decided dye was too expensive. Took out 2 of the colors. That was smooth. I'm glad your new I'm glad your new keyboard is proving to be comfortable. I really don't like those ergonomic kinds. I don't know why. It's just I'm used to things the way they are. That's my old people trait. That's my old people trait. Once I'm used to something, I don't like how it changes. Like that's why I never changed the UI for Baldur's Gate. People are like, "Oh my god, you can customize it," and that's amazing. And I'm like, "But I'm used to it." Yeah, I get so used to things the way they are. Changing things up screws me up for a while. That's part of why I can't have long nails. I've never successfully adapted to long nails. I'm gonna redo that. I'm not happy with how that came out. Start from there again. Note to self, mute group chats before going on Twitch. Yeah, I think that looks a little nicer than it was a second ago. It was too chunky before. There's the butt. One more. I think that lines up well enough. It's not exactly perfect, but it's pretty damn close. Okay, that speck is on the paper. That was not my line art. Okay. So that's what we have of the line art so far. Alright, yeah, I think that's coming along nicely. Let's get our reference back on so I can finish these guys' faces. There's also a weird speck right there I gotta fix. There, that looks better. This one is Nico and the Niners by 21 Pilots. Disgruntled farmers indeed. Yeah, that's not so bad. I think with a little cleanup and some color, that'll look really nice. This is also like a lot smaller than I'm used to working with since I had to go with the size that's based on what Twitch accepts for alerts. I didn't want a lot of compression, so I didn't want to make them oversized and shrink them down. So this canvas that I'm working with right now is 800 by 600 pixels, which is not a lot. That's why, like, the moment I zoom in, it gets super pixelated. I'm only working with a 3-pixel line art here, and normally for about the same weight of line art, I'm working with 20 pixels. That gives you an idea of how small this canvas is compared to my average. Now I just need to touch up any little gaps in the line art so I can quickly dump some colors in here. I'm definitely going to need to be more choosy about color than I normally would be, simply because, like, with the way this group is entangled, I need to make sure each of them is individually clear, and that they don't end up with the same colors side by side, because then they'll get mixed up. Man, Baldy, I wish I had more frickin' pixels right now. But this is the size that Twitch said to do. They said tiny or bust. So at least I kept it with rider weight, which is pretty simple and minimalist to begin with, honestly. Yeah, but I mean, this is gonna be, you know, not much larger than, like, the candles at the bottom of my overlay. It's probably gonna appear around that size. I have it set so, like, on my overlay around here's where my alerts pop up, typically. So frankly, I'm still going for pretty darn detailed stuff, given. Which, you know, certainly a choice. But it's so aesthetic. Pixels for my family. What was it? Mike's Hard Lemonade? Is that the one where people were saying they were getting Mike's Hard for their family for a minute there or something? I remember that going around too, since those are in cans as well. Oh, that shit was funny. Hey, I was just talking about this song. It's that song that was like, hey, you're a big gay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, for anyone for anyone lurking, I was on a rant this morning to my friends about how this song was part of the reason I figured out I'm non-binary, because I was like, a boyfriend who looks like a girlfriend? That sounds fantastic. I want to be that. It's always the weirdest things, isn't it? Okay, I don't think there's any more little gaps in the... Oh, there's one by the wrist there. Fix up this pit. Yeah, well, I guess the paint bucket tool will show me if there's any other gaps. Yeah, I think I am pretty successfully non-binary, if that's something we can measure by success. I'm here, I'm queer, what y'all gonna do about it? First and foremost, I think we should make all these brown. Because I didn't interpret these as metal pitchforks. I interpreted them as like hardwood. The references I used were wooden ones as well. Oh, there's a little gap spot where it got through. We got some more little nubs over here too. Also, this guy right here, in the original tarot card, his arm is cut off. The frame goes there, so I just kind of gave him like a hey, I'm walking here kind of look. I don't know. Seems like it fit. Yeah, that's a good start. I'm gonna have to be very choosy about the colors I put these men in, because otherwise they're gonna be a clusterfuck. I think I'll... Oh, I forgot this guy's boot line. I gotta fix that. Hey, yo, guys, we got new peeps, we got new pitchforks, we got new torches. What's going on? How's the witch hunt club? It bothers me, if you look at the original tarot card. If you look at the original tarot card, these three have boots on, and these two have shoes on, and it bothers me that the two guys with shoes on are on the same side. I wish they were, like, mixed up. I straight up considered changing that. I was like, do I want to change where the shoes are? This is stupid. Hey, yo, Tony, it is a new fork. Thanks for noticing. Yeah, do you think I should swap the because it really, I don't, it's weird to me that just the two guys on the right have shoes and everyone else has boots. I feel like it looks unbalanced, but most people don't spend that much time staring at their feet. I'm sure I'm one of the first people to come up with this complaint about the Rider-Waite tarot deck. I can't believe Joey and I traded everybody's underpants in our Baldur's Gate run. One shoe and one boot each. That would look so silly. Okay, so we got the... I decided to put the center guy in my deepest purple, because I feel like that's a good one for him. Give you a nice little green thing to go with your hat. And a third secret slipper. What if I just threw in it? I bet you nobody would even notice if I threw in an extra leg, because I had to actually count the legs to make sure I got it correct. This tarot card, when you're looking at just like a sketch or just the line art, it proves to be a little bit of an optical illusion. Yeah, them some practical undergarments. And they're leather too. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the sweat? The swamp ass? Let's see. I don't even want to think about. Well, maybe the stains would make up for the tan lines. can get the do they tan? They're from outer space. I don't know if their skin works the same as ours. The chafing would be unreal too. I hope that bitch carries on some baby powder. Darken areolas. The worst part about that spell is it would probably convince some people to get mammograms. And, like, that's not a bad thing, but when you don't need it, you know? I cast testicular torsion. How's that? I think they all stand out as individuals nicely with that color scheme. The elusive 10th level spells. Right up there with level 21. Yeah, yeah, it passes the zoom test. It definitely passes the zoom test. Alright, so that's 5 of Wands, and we did 10 of Cups before as well, and I wrote down 3 pixels so I don't forget what my line weight was at. And then... should I do one more, or should I wrap up here and go raid PK? Because I told myself I would go for 2 to 3 hours, depending on how I was feeling, and it's about 2.5 hours now, so I stuck pretty true to that. So I have one for... once I finish shading it, the first one, the 10 of Cups design, this one, is going to be for when I get a new follower, which that can apply at any given time. And the 5 of Wands is for when I get rated, which again can happen at any time. And the other ones are for subscribers, which I can't get until I get affiliate anyway. So I thought I'd start with these. And I think I'm probably going to do the 10 of Swords one next. But I will probably save that for another day. Simply because it's got so many damn straight lines. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm probably gonna do this one next time, the 10 of Swords, since that's gonna be my error card, and that again should be applicable at any time, pretty much. But the majority of the rest of these are going to require some kind of channel points or subscriptions, and those are things I can't do until I get Twitch affiliate anyway. But I think that once I shade these and maybe do like a little detail brush for fun with like some stitches or accessories or something, I think they'll look really nice. And I might add text to them to say like raid, new follower, stuff like that. I'm not 100% certain yet, because you can program it to say like blank followed you and have like their username. And part of me is like, that's pretty cool, and people usually like seeing their names on stuff like this, but since I'm going to be doing some not safe for work art, I might not put in names at all, because some people might want to lurk and not have their name associated. So for me, that's still up in the air. But in the meantime, I'm going to save this, and I think this is where I'm going to wrap up for today. Thank you guys for joining us, and if you just bear with me for a moment, I am going to raid PK, because I believe I can do that. Yep, there he is. So I am going to raid PK, and I hope you guys have a blast. Thank you so much for coming out today. Have a great night, everyone.